and Norwegian Cruise Line. Experience more at sea with the 10th Inning Show. Here's the voice of the Marlins, Jack McMullen.
Well, the Marlins fall to the hosting Atlanta Braves on Sunday afternoon at Truist Park in Atlanta. 7-1 was the final score, and this game was really tight through the front two-thirds of this one, but unfortunately Atlanta blew it open with a 4-run bottom of the seventh. It was a 3-run home run from Marcell Ozuna and a solo shot on the heels of that from Michael Harris II. Cal Quantrill started this game for the Fish and was good. 4 innings, 3 hits, 1 run. He punched out 1. He did not walk anyone. But at 47 pitches, Cal was pulled from the ball game. It was a managerial decision. We were told there was nothing in terms of sickness or anything. Tyler Phillips came on. He allowed 2 runs in that 5th inning, but Tyler Zuber, unfortunately, was tagged for 4 in the bottom of the 7th. Zuber was recalled with Anthony Bender going on the paternity list. Him and his wife, Keisha, are welcoming a child to the world. So congratulations to them. But unfortunately, it was a weekend to forget in Atlanta for the Fish. This place has not been kind to the Miami Marlins, and unfortunately, that remained true this weekend. The Atlanta offense really showed up and showed out. Marcell Ozuna had 4 homers over the weekend. Drake Baldwin drove in north of 10 over the weekend as well. So just a tough weekend for the Fish in the state of Georgia. But thankfully, they get out of Dodge. They go to Cleveland, have an off day on Monday, and then they're back in action against the Guardians on Tuesday. We'll break this thing down, show you how it sounded when we come back. Highlights are coming up next on the Marlins Radio Network.
William is one of
you needed some more production, and then you turned it into guys who are going to be now producing when you need them to.
1-0 pitch. Augustine lines into right field. That's in on a hop for a base hit. X rounding third. He's coming home. White's throw going to the plate. A little bit offline and just a touch late. And X comes in to score standing up from second. With 2 men gone, it's an RBI single for Augustine Ramirez, and the Marlins on the board again. It's 6-2 in the top of the 4th. Opposite of Texas's concern with him. They thought that he was going to be in an insane amount of pain.
Yeah.
Pitch to X. That one stung. Past the dive of the second baseman. Albies into right center for a base hit. Myers will score from second base, no problem. And Xavier Edwards got to 300 last AB. This time he pushes to 301. Afternoon, getaway day at 1:35. Jen Powell calls balls and strikes. 3-1. That one sprayed into left field, down the line. Long run for Profar. He's still moving. That drops in. It's a fair ball. Hernandez was drifting towards third. Now he gets the run around home, and the throw coming home is late. That was a line hunter. Profar is explaining to the third base umpire, Chris Guccione, that he thought it bounced to the right of the chalk, or the left of the chalk, I should say. Yesterday has hit the skids a bit for his last few games. And the 1-2, that one cracked into right center. That is in for a base hit. That's going to keep on rolling for a while. Marcy around third. He comes in to score, and that's Major League RBI number 2 on hit number 3 from Troy Johnston. Stretching Cappy maybe 10 pitches further than you would if you were on 4. 0-1. Hernandez lifts that one high in the air, out to left and deep. Profar is back at the track. It is gone. Into the Marlins bullpen. Big Bert again, his 7th home run of the season, and it's a 2-run shot, 5-0 Fish in the top of the 5th.
Hours, and you're listening to the 10th Inning Show on the Marlins Radio Network.
Well, the Marlins fall to the Atlanta Braves at Truist Park on Sunday afternoon. The Marlins unfortunately dropped 4 of 5 this weekend in that 5-game set here at Truist. Final time we come to Atlanta this year, they return the favor to our place one more time this year. That comes at the end of August. How did this ball game sound? Well, it was actually the Marlins that jumped out in front first. After dueling scoreless frames from Cal Quantrill in the bottom of the first and Joey Wentz, the Braves starter, at the top of the first inning, it was Liam Hicks that played in the first run after a Derek Hill double in the top of the second. 1-1 pitch. That one lined over the head of the second baseman, Albies into right. White comes up firing. Hill can motor. The throw is a little bit offline. It goes to second. It trickles into shallow center. Harris comes up firing, and Hicks will push to third without a throw. It's an RBI single for Liam Hicks to open scoring. He pushes to second on the throw, and he pushes to third on a throwing error from Sean Murphy. So a Little League triple for Hicks, and it's 1-0 Fish in the top of the second. But then it was all Atlanta. They opened scoring in the bottom of the fourth with Matt Olson tying this game up. 2-0 pitch. Olson hits one high in the air, out to right center field. Hill is back at the track, at the wall. It is gone. A majestic high archer and a get-right home run for Matt Olson. Snaps a 19-game homerless stretch for Olson, and it's homer number 19 on the year. 419 feet, and that thing took a while to land beyond the Atlanta bullpen in right center. Solo shot knocks the game at 1, the bottom of the fourth. That was how Atlanta tied this game. They ended up taking the lead on a knock from the guy that precedes him in the lineup the next time through, Jurickson Profar, an inning later. 1-1. Profar swings, drills one out to right. Hernandez working back at the track. He jumps up. It's off his glove, and it bounces on the base of the wall. Hernandez had both hands on the wall. It was resting at his feet. He then picks it up and fires it back in, but Jurickson Profar smokes an RBI double. Alvarez comes in to score from first, and it's 2-1 Atlanta in the bottom of the fifth. After Profar ripped that RBI double, he pushed to third on a wild pitch, and it was another misfire to end up plating him. Phillips, after the mound visit, fires the first pitch, and that would skip behind Hicks. That gets back to the backstop. Profar pushes in, the other two up 90 feet as well. That was a wild pitch on a spike sweeper, and that's a 2-spot for Atlanta in this frame. It's 3-1 Braves. And I get it. So that was the wild pitch to plate him. That came with Matt Olson at the dish. That actually came with Sean Murphy at the dish. And then we went to the bottom of the sixth. It was scoreless for the Braves. In the bottom of the seventh, though, it was a quick single from Profar, single from Olson. There were 2 on from Marcell Ozuna, and he had himself a weekend. And the 2-2 pitch. Ozuna swings and kills one. Out to left. It's over Dane's head, and that's over the Marlins bullpen as well. Marcell Ozuna's on fire this weekend. His 4th home run of the series. And after a multi-homer day yesterday, he's got a 3-run blast today. 105 off the bat, 422 feet out to straightaway left field. And Ozuna opens the game up a bit in Atlanta's favor. It's 6-1 Braves in the bottom of the 7th. And to tie a bow on their scoring, Michael Harris followed 2 hitters later. 2-0 pitch. That one hammered out to right and deep. Hernandez working back at the track. He's looking up. It's into the chop house and gone. Michael Harris with a solo homer. And it's 7-1 Atlanta in the bottom of the 7th. Michael Harris drilled his 12th homer on the year in that one. And this guy has been hot as anybody in baseball since the All-Star break. Fortunately, the Marlins went down quietly in the back third of this one. Just 2 hits, in the 7th, 8th, and 9th combined after Liam Hicks singled. Javier Sonoja lined out to end the ballgame. Here's 0-2. That one lined into left. That's hanging up. Jurickson Profar underneath. And he makes the catch about letter high, and that ends the ballgame. Tyler Kinley comes on. He spins a scoreless top of the 9th inning, working around the 2-out single from Liam Hicks. And the Marlins can't get on the bird quick enough in Atlanta. They want to get out of this place. On an afternoon where history was made, Jen Powell became the first woman to ever call balls and strikes in a Major League Baseball regular season game. The Marlins fall to the hosting Atlanta Braves on Sunday afternoon, 7-1, the final score. That was how this ball game sounded. When we come back, you'll hear from the skipper of the Fish, Clayton McCullough. 10th inning show continues next on the Marlins Radio Network.
At Lone Depot,
33% of the way there.
That's Hall of Famer.
Hit 333. 1-0 pitch. That one looped into shallow left field. Profar coming on. He won't get there. That drops in for a base hit. Hicks going to come in and score. Otto pushes to third, and Jacob Marcy drives in his 4th run at the Major League level. This guy's 8 for 17 to open his big league career, and an RBI knock gets the Fish on the board. They trail 2-1 at the top of the 2nd. In the lead. 1-2. That one hit in the air, out to right center. That's deep. That's carrying well. Harris is back at the track. He leaps up. He opens the bullpen door, and that's off the wall. It caroms back into center. Wagaman pushes to third, and 2 runs come in to score. A 2-run triple for Wag Attack. Braves of yesteryear.
No.
3-2. That one hit well. Out to right in deep. Down the line. White on the move. He's looking up. And it's gone. Into the chop house. Graham Pauley. Back-to-back days with a homer. He's got 3 now as a Marlin. And this is a 5-run second. 2-run blast. 5-2 fish.
You needed some more production, and then you turned it into guys who are going to be now producing when you need them to.
1-0 pitch. Augustine lines into right field. That's in on a hop for a base hit. X rounding third. He's coming home. White's throw going to the plate. A little bit offline and just a touch late. And X comes in to score standing up from second. With 2 men gone, it's an RBI single for Augustine Ramirez. And the Marlins on the board again. It's 6-2 in the top of the 4th.
Trying to win it all again. Posada, slow roller right side. Beckett picks it up, tags Posada, and the Florida Marlins are world champions. The Marlins have stunned the Yankees, shocked New York, and this improbable team, improbable ride, they end up on top, winning in 6 games over the Yankees.
The Marlins fell to the hosting Atlanta Braves 7-1 on Sunday afternoon. Let's hear it from the skipper, Clayton McCullough, after this one.
Okay, let's start from the beginning of this game. How would you evaluate Cal today, and why was it the right time to take him out in that 5th?
Yeah, I think going in, Cal had been a little under the weather, and so knew it was most likely going to be a bit shorter with him today. And keeping up with him throughout the early innings of that outing, and as we talked things through after like the 3rd inning or so, like what he was that was getting us through 4 there. With what he was able to do was what we needed that today, and he was able to give it to us. And then it was either way going to just be a shorter outing today, all things considered.
It seemed like a trend in this series was the middle innings for Atlanta, maybe 3rd time through. Why do you think the offense was able to get to either the relievers or the starters in these middle innings this series?
I think this series as a whole, frustrating that they just, when they had their opportunities or they made their opportunities, they were able to, come through with some hits with runners in scoring position, put up some crooked numbers that ended up swinging games or, changing the course of the game. So I think they just, they came through, they put together innings and came up with more hits with guys on than we were able to this series.
How did you piece the bullpen together today?
Well, I think we had the day off tomorrow, and Philly, it'd been a while since Philly was out there. We knew we had to, once it got to that point, get through trying to get guys some work while also not trying to extend guys too terribly much. Asked a lot of Zuber today. Long day for him coming in yesterday, pitching in the game, going on a back-to-back. So, important outs he got for us, knowing that it was asking a lot of him. And so we got through with what we felt like were the freshest guys.
What are you hoping the off day maybe serves? It's been a while since you guys have gone through a rut.
I think it's just what's done is done. Guys aren't happy in there. It was a tough 48 hours. It was a tough series, but it's over with. Get to the off day in Cleveland, recharge, and get ready to go back after it on Tuesday.
Is there anything that was lacking this weekend? Do you want to see get back, back to basics kind of thing?
No, I think you go over the whole course of the season. It's very easy in the moment to put a game under a microscope. We lost 4 out of 5 games here. It wasn't great. They just beat us, and it's over with now. And we'll just, got to move forward and just try to, flip the script on Tuesday.
And then offensively, you got some guys going. Derek Hill, Dane Myers, Liam Hicks got a couple of hits. Just what did you see offensively?
Yeah, we had some moments and then some of the opportunities we had, we just weren't able to, keep extending it or, put up a few more runs. But we've talked about all year, a big part of our success has been getting contributions from a number of players on the roster. And that's been a real driver of a lot of our success is that, guys have just, whoever it is, have, come through. And so, yeah, getting Dane back going and nice to see Derek put some good swings on the ball will be important for us.
Obviously, a lot of attention on the umpire today behind the plate. How would you evaluate what you saw with balls and strike calls?
Yeah, I think and Jen did a really nice job. I think she's very composed back there. She handled and managed the game very well, and a big day for her, big day for Major League Baseball. So I, congratulated her again on that because it's quite the accomplishment, and wish her the best moving forward as she continues to. I'm sure hope one day be a full-time permanent big league umpire. So big day for a lot of people.
Weren't a lot of called 3 strikes in the game to question, but you were seen on TV at one point with your hands out like you weren't sure where a pitch was. Was it more about what the pitch selection was or the call of the strike?
I guess I'd have to go back and look at which one you're talking about. Over the course of the game, there are a number of times that you just are maybe asking for clarity on one if you aren't sure. So it could have been that.
All right, that was the skipper, Clayton McCullough. After this one, again, it was a 7-1 loss at the hands of the Atlanta Braves. But history made today. Jen Powell became the first woman to ever umpire a Major League Baseball game behind the plate. She became the first woman to ever umpire a Major League Baseball game yesterday. We will step aside. We will say see you next. 10th Inning Show concludes on the Marlins Radio Network.
At Lone Depot, we're
So the Astro defense after this pitch. 0-1. Lopez rips one up the gut. That is through for a base hit. Stowers getting the run around. He will score, and that ties the ball game. Throw goes to third to keep Hicks at second. Otto Lopez makes it back-to-back RBI singles, and all of a sudden we're tied at 2 in the bottom of the first. Here's the classic answer back inning for the Fish. He was pulled. Reliever came on to get the final out. Hernandez hits one high in the air and deep. Out to left. Sanchez is back at the track. He leaps up, and it's gone. Big Bert, homer number 6. Heriberto Hernandez with a solo blast, and it's 5-2 Fish in the bottom of the third. By 2. 2-1 pitch. Paulie drills high in the air, out to right. Smith is back at the track, and it's gone. Into the Astro bullpen, Graham Paulie with homer number 2 as a Miami Marlin. And now the Fish right back to doubling up the Astros. It's 6-3 in the bottom of the 5th.
Graham Paulie here, second home run of the season. Your team finishes off a 4-2 homestand. Why was this game really important before we head out for a 3-city trip?
Yeah, we first series swept the Yankees, which is always great, and then we wanted to come out of here with at least a win at home. We 4-2 is a lot better than 3-3. I don't know. We put a lot of stuff together. We just wanted to keep being the same team that we've always been. So really not a lot changed, but today I think we were just focused and put everything together. So
what did you see offensively against Spencer Arrighetti?
Yeah, he's got a good fastball and really good breaking balls. I think today we did a better job of keyholing him in a way. Didn't really chase him a whole ton. I think that's why we kind of just singled him to death. Not a whole lot of slug, but we put a lot of good ABs together.
The water sponsor of MLB. Major League Baseball trademarks used with permission.
All right, 10th Inning Show concludes. Now the Marlins fall to the hosting Atlanta Braves 7-1 on Sunday afternoon. Off day for the Fish in Cleveland on Monday. Back in action on Tuesday night. 6:40 first pitch. It'll be Jason Junk taking the ball for the Marlins. 6-2 for the 3.97 ERA against Logan Allen. 7-9 with a 3.96. This is the only matchup between the two of them. Marlins and Guardians 6:40 on Tuesday. Steven Stromhitz here with Marlins on deck at 6 o'clock. Huge thank you to Ahmed Jordan in studio all weekend long. And today, for Stephen, for Gabby, I'm Jack saying so long from Truist Park in Atlanta. Getting your final score, the Marlins fall to the Braves 7-1. This has been a presentation of Miami Marlins baseball on the Marlins Radio Network.